Hi friends, my name is Jacqueline Rose, and this is my energy reading for the week of the 5th. I hope all of y'all had a safe 4th of July. I can't believe we're already in July. This year is flying by, but maybe that's a good thing. Today I picked 3 cards for you. These are your 3 cards. Your first card is the Mirror Guardian. Take time to reflect. And the second card is the Water Guardian. Connect to your emotions. And the third card, which I believe we got this in the last couple weeks, Direction Guardian. Choose your path. So I want y'all to notice that these 3 Guardian cards came flying out, which means that you are being heavily protected right now and guided, which I'm sure we all want to hear. Your guardian angels and your guides are always watching over you, but I think this is a message where they really want you to know that you are safe and you are protected. So I'm going to read the meanings for all of these cards. So the first one today is the Mirror Guardian. You are a beautiful being who is surmounted so many challenges and expands in so many ways. Your angels are now guiding you to take inventory of your life and take time to note all of your recent experiences, the challenge you have surmounted, the strengths you have developed, and the lessons you have learned. Your angels want you to reflect on your strengths, in particular those aspects of yourself that you feel you have not been acknowledged by others. Offer yourself approval where it is due, and know that when you give yourself credit, others will be able to as well. It also says, when this card appears, you are being invited to take some time to see where you are right now. So I think during this quarantine time, there's a lot of things in our heads we can look back at and go, oh, I should have done this and I should have done that. So we're very judgmental of ourselves. And this is saying, take the time, and I do this a lot, to think about where I was in the past and where I've come to when I'm judging myself a lot of where I think I need to be. So this card is really trying to let you know that you are strength, and you have had lots of challenges in your life, and they want you to look at it and be aware of how strong you are, and give yourself a pat on the back that you can expect other people to notice these strengths and these accomplishments. If you're not willing to give yourself a pat on the back, how's anybody else going to do it? So it's really saying, and for me, when I see the Mirror Guardian as well, there's a mirror. Everything is a mirror to me. So I've said this recently, that like, if somebody says something towards me that I get triggered by, it's just a mirror. I don't look at that person and say, oh my God, this person called me a bee, I got an itch. I look at that person and go, why does that bother me that that person said that? Do I believe that about myself? I need to heal that. So everything is reflecting something within, okay? And so this is what it's telling me, that life is a mirror. If you start realizing that life is the mirror, you will be able to heal. There are things that are repeating in your life that you are not seeing it. And this mirror is, everything is trying to show you the people in your life, the situations. If you look real closely, you will see the patterns that you repeat. So give yourself strength, or give yourself acknowledgement that you've been able to bust out of some of these patterns, because that's a lot. When I've had aha moments and I've sat back and I'm like, oh crap, I am repeating another pattern, or look how this person and this person and this person, I'm telling you, it's amazing how I repeat patterns with people and situations of me not feeling good enough, okay? And until I heal that I'm good enough, and then I will always see that in everybody. No matter what they say, I will feel like I'm not good enough. I have to catch that and be like, no, ego, I'm good enough, okay? So anyways, the next card is the Water Guardian. And sorry, these are all in the same book. So your angels want you to know that it is okay to feel the emotions that are surfacing at this time. It doesn't matter if they are joyous or sad. They are all powerful messages to allow you to understand what you want and need. Take time to breathe, acknowledge them, let them flow through you rather than crashing down like an overwhelming wave. Note that there are also intuitive psychic messages arising in you at this time. Unless you acknowledge everything as it comes, you may miss an important guidance that has led you and supported and led you to support and love. And this is kind of like what I was saying in the last card. Like, it's saying that it's okay to look at everything that you've done in the past. It's okay to let those emotions come up, but then give yourself acknowledgement of what you have done. And once you can give yourself acknowledgement of how far you have come, then you will be able to get these psychic messages. Like, once I was able to be more aware of what was going on and the patterns that I have, was I able to see the downloads and to see the messages from Spirit telling me, look what you're creating again. Look what you're doing again. And it wasn't by judgment. It was just like, look at it. And I remember once I had, my son has sensory processing, and I hired an advocate for our school. And one of the advocate that I hired, shout out, she told me, because I kept thinking to myself, like, oh, he should be so much farther along. And she goes, look how far he's come. And I just didn't even notice it until that moment. And she said something. She's like, he's come so far from where he has been. So don't look at where he should be. And I was just like, you're right. I'm not looking at his accomplishments, because I kept thinking to myself, he's not farther along because I'm not good enough. I'm not a good enough mom. It was that story playing in every part of my life. So look at what you've done, acknowledge those emotions, and acknowledge how well you've done. Because once you can acknowledge and give yourself a pat on the back, you will see these blessings that have come into your life. And for so long, I didn't see the blessings. Now, the last card is Direction Guardian. Choose your path, okay? And so we got this card last week. So I believe it was last week that we got this card. So I want you to take note of that, because it's trying to Spirit is trying to nudge you. When you get cards, the same ones over and over again, it's trying to nudge you in a certain way. And so this one says, your path isn't set in stone, and your angels and your guides have no expectations for you, nor should you have any for yourself. There are many directions you can take. None of them are wrong, as they all hold perfect opportunity to grow and to learn. But life is to be enjoyed and savored. So if you know that there is a direction to be made, or a decision to be made in particular, if you are feeling indecisive, choose the path you know is going to make you light up and choose with your heart. So all of these three cards to me are telling me that, well, first of all, angels and guides. I had a friend recently say, I don't want God to be mad at me. And I was like, God is not that. The story that we have been told that God is this one that like condemns you to hell, in my opinion, I do not believe. I believe we create our own hell here on earth, okay? And so I believe that this card is telling you, Spirit is telling you, look at your past, give yourself a pat, a gold star, whatever, a high five. Give yourself a high five. Realize that you are breaking through generational curses, and know that any decision that you made in your past is not a wrong decision. Any way that you go in your life isn't wrong. You're going to learn lessons in all of them. If they're easy or if they're hard, everybody has struggles. So I feel like there's this inner ego voice that talks to a lot of people, telling them that they're not good enough and look what you've done. And sometimes you got to tell your ego to shut the fuck up, okay? And you need to tell them that I tell my ego all the time, that inner voice, that inner critic, I tell them to be quiet, and I am working my hardest. If I know that I'm doing my best possible job, then I know I don't judge myself on the past. And I know that any direction that I go in is going to be fine. You know, in these times, it's very hard. Anything that's loaded up on our pile right now is just like too much. We don't want the cherry on top of the cake or whatever, ice cream or any of that stuff. We want it smooth sailing. But what I try to do is stay in the present moment. And when I have an obstacle come up in that time frame, I try to stay in this moment and look at all the good that I have, and then try to make decisions out of that moment and not react. I have to observe. I have to see what's going on. I have to stay in the present moment. I have to stay optimistic, and then I go on to the next best decision that I can make in that moment, right? That's with food, that's with decisions, that's with anything. You try to make the best decision in that moment. And don't judge yourself from the past, because we're always learning. Like, I thought I had it all figured out at 25. Now I am 38, and I'm like, by 48, I'm going to be a completely different person that has a whole different view on life. Like, my life is, I am not the person that I was from the past. So I can't sit there and judge that person. That 25-year-old me. Like, that 25-year-old me was all about getting married to my husband, and, you know, I don't even know what I was thinking at the time. I just was trying to live the American dream, thinking it was going to make me happy. And now I'm 38, and none of those things matter anymore. None of those things are important anymore. So don't worry about what you've done in your past. Don't judge yourself. Just know that you've come so far and you're learning so much. Just be aware and just look at your patterns. Be aware of your patterns. Be present and make the best decision. No path is wrong. That's what I think these cards are telling me today. I hope y'all are having a beautiful weekend, and I hope y'all have a great week coming up. Much love.